It was good to see Sam pitch and catch that first half and show great accuracy, and it's good to now move on to summer conditioning and get to training camp come August. With that, I'll answer any questions that you have.
Clay, what questions do you feel you've answered about this team coming out of spring, and what do you feel will be the biggest issues that you got to figure out before September?
Well, I think the things that we got to continue doing is the development of the young wideouts and the chemistry between them and Sam. It has progressed so much from practice 1 to practice 15, but I don't think we're a finished product yet. I think that there's going to have to do some summer work as well as training camp, and then the offensive line, getting everybody healthy, and then finding the best five that can go out there on a consistent basis. You know, when you look up and Nico's not in, or Atoa's not in, or Vianney's not in, that veteran leadership and experience really will help us. The things that I have seen that I was very pleasantly pleased with and expected was our defense. Second year in Coach Clancy's system, how they performed, how they communicated, they just look like they're playing extremely fast. And the thing that stands out to me right now is not only the ones but the twos right now, that we're extremely solid. I remember in years past where you would have that dip between the ones and the twos. There was a drop off, you know, and this group right now looks like a two-deep bunch on defense, which will help us not only defensively, but I think on special teams also.
You were talking on Thursday about wanting to start fast next season. Last year, one of your pushes was to keep everyone healthy and be careful to keep everyone healthy in practice. Today, too, making sure that the ones didn't get too banged up. Is there kind of a competing interest in both of those things, trying to keep guys healthy?
Yeah, you have to look at it. You looked at it exactly like today. About half the practice was thud and half the practice was live. To be able to mix in both, and you have to be selective. Some of the times you're handcuffed by NCAA rules, and some of the times you're handcuffed by the number of injuries. It's a fine line that you have to play, but the physicality is where we win ball games, and we understand that with our big men up front offensively and defensively, as well as getting those runners hit to be able for them to get used to being tackled, that ball not coming out. So it's a fine line, and we'll have to walk that line in training camp. Obviously, we're going to have better numbers. You saw some of the incoming freshmen that are coming in, as well as getting people healthy. So we'll be able to be a more physical bunch and more physical practice once training camp starts.
If you had your choice going into fall with a defense that's just big shutdown or an offense that's would you rather have the defense ready to go right away?
I'd really love to have both,
Okay.
but it's always been said defense wins championships, and you know that's important, especially here in this league. When you think about the Pac-12, it's an offensive league, and there's offensive weapons all over the place in this league. So it's good where we are defensively right now. Makes me feel very comfortable as a head coach.
What is your level of concern regarding the chemistry on the offensive line?
My main level of concern is getting everybody back healthy. The thing that I look at is, has Chuma played a bunch of ball? Yes. Has Chris Brown played a bunch of ball? Yes. Vianney, Nico, Toa, yeah, those guys have played. What I'm really pleased with is how Coach Callaway brought up some of the youth. I thought Roy Hemsley progressed this spring. A Cole Smith progressed this spring. A Clayton Johnson progressed. That's what I really wanted to see. I know those vets are going to be ready to go, but to see that next bunch come up, I thought was really good. Now, five more incoming freshmen coming in, to be able to plug those guys in is going to be extremely valuable, and see where they go, as well as getting a Nate Smith back. I saw him today and he looked huge. I'd almost forgotten about him, but he's going to be healthy and back in training camp. So it'll be nice to have a true 2.5 deep there on the offensive line.
Clay, could you just hear a lot of situational mastery? Can you just kind of elaborate on what that means?
Yeah, you saw it today. You know, that's what we preach, is understanding the situations in everything that we do. Whether it was the backed up situation, knowing that offensively we have to be able to push that ball outside the 20-yard line to flip the field, and defensively knowing that if we can pin them inside that 20 and get a punt catch, majority of the time you're going to put points on the board if you could stop a team inside the 20 and get that ball back about the 50-yard line. Offensively, we're good enough to be able to do that. 2-minute situations, as we've worked in all of camp. All those situational masteries, kids understand fundamentals and techniques are taught, but at the end of the game, you know it's going to come down to 5 or 6 plays that a decision-making understanding the situation, understanding exactly what's going on, whether it's maybe a 3rd-and-1 situation, knowing where the change is, and instead of going for this touchdown sometimes as a runner, but barreling right ahead and getting that first. Those are important things. So that's what we try to preach. That's my job as a coach. I think our coaches do a tremendous job of the fundamental techniques. It's my job to teach situational mastery.
This was Sam's first spring where he's clearly the guy.
Yeah.
What was your kind of overall assessment of how he handled everything and performed?
I just think his maturity level has been off the charts. He doesn't let anything get too big. A lot of people are talking about him, and he's really captured the now. He's captured these moments of having a chance to get better and develop a young bunch of wideouts. I've also liked his leadership. Sometimes when you deal with young wideouts and they don't run the exact right route, he never showed frustration. He communicated with him, hey, this is what I expect from you. This is where you need to be because I'm letting the ball go. I'm going to believe in you to be there. So I really appreciated his maturity level and leadership this spring.
Michael Pittman was saying when Sam points out corrections on routes, he's very deliberate. Like he'll say 3 words basically, do this or do that. Is that style?
Yeah, no, he's not a big talker, as we know. And when he talks, you listen. He has the respect of this entire team. So when he says those 3 to 5 words, you listen. But I've really appreciated how he's done a great job one-on-one with each of these wideouts.
Sam said when he's talking to the players, he almost likes it when you guys aren't around because then they absolutely only listen to him.
Yeah, no
Do you
question.
notice that? I mean, that he takes over?
And I think one of the things that I've liked what T and Tyson has done is to allow him to do that, even in practices, to be able to communicate with the kids. Because at the end of the day, it's a player's game, and they have to be on the same page. So communication is key, and we talk about that all the time as coaches to make sure that everybody is on the same page with their assignment.
Thoughts on the way Matt Fink and Jack Sears looked today running the offense?
Yeah, I thought they both did a nice job. I'm impressed with Matt's overall spring, and then it was really neat to see Jack in this situation. I mean, he should be at prom right now. He's in the Coliseum, and he's throwing the ball around, and he's getting it to the right places. I thought both kids did a nice job today of getting it to the right guys, so proud for them.